Sam Smith here, along with Captain Cavanis of Rock Hill Police Department, back here with an overview of what's happened in Gastonia, as it's been the Gastonia Sniper Conference. There's been 11 events that have been taking place, and it all started as we started on Wednesday. It's been hot, it's been cold, it's been rainy, but the events have been very consistent, and of course, we start with number 11. It's called Cold Bore, and it certainly means that that's the first shot of the competition.
That's correct, Sam. As you speak, it is a cold bore shot. Two competitors run to their shooting platform, approximately 100 yards, and then they shoot one first cold shot at 100 yards, and the closest one in. And the results this week, this event, the U.S. Army Reserve was first, with Raleigh PD second, and then DeSoto County out of Mississippi was third.
I want to touch on some of the equipment that a sniper may carry or will carry. Of course, the rifle, the drag bag that you carry the rifle in, poncho, gloves, a good hat, boonie hat, sidearm, gas mask, Kessler device which measures wind speed, temperature, humidity, that sort of thing. Of course, your ammo, smoke for cover and concealment, knee pads, laser rangefinder, which is used to determine your range to the target, first aid kit, your book, your dope book for adjustments for your ranges. The book is used to record information that the sniper receives during his training for undetermined targets and determined targets, range and that sort of thing, which allows him to make adjustments on the scope to take certain shots at different ranges. And of course the backpack which this gear is carried in or on.
I'm going to talk about some sniper rifles that you may incur or you may see a sniper carrying at this sniper competition or sniper conference. This right here is a Remington 700 PSS. It's no different really than the normal hunting rifle that you would have as a Remington 700. It's just got a little heavier, it's got a heavier barrel. It's also, probably the biggest difference is you'll find is it's equipped with a Leopold M4 scope, which has adjustable knobs for windage and for elevation. It also has a Harris bipod that's adjustable up and down. This right here is a rifle, like I said, that you may see a sniper carrying at a competition. This is also a rifle that you would see the military maybe carrying on an operation. You can go from this extreme to, this is also in a 308. Is chambered in a 308. This rifle right here we'll go to is more of something the military may carry, but we also carry them for special operations. This is a Barrett 50 caliber. It is a Leopold scope on it. It's the same scope. Basically, it's just a different size. It has the windage and elevation knobs also. This scope, or this rifle right here, you can shoot engine blocks, stop vehicles. You could also, if you had to go through a wall, you could also go through a wall with this rifle here. We can go down to a Blouser. Blouser is another rifle that you may see at this competition. This one here is also equipped with a Leopold Mark IV scope. The barrel on this one right here can be replaced. This one here has got a 308 chambered in a 308 right now. You can see here's another barrel that can go in this one here, and this one here is in a 223. So you may see different chambered rifles at this competition. Anything from, you won't see the 50 caliber at this competition out on this range, but you'll see anything from a 308 to a 223, and you may also see a 300 Win Mag.
Well, also, when you consider what the snipers have to do, that's shooting in low light, and certainly the Insight people have given them a little insight on what they need to do in low light. As a matter of fact, Kevin Tapia was joining us, but talk a little about shooting in low light as they did here.
Well, shooting at night or shooting in very, very low light conditions, you have to have some advantages sometimes. Scopes, thermal imaging equipment, things like this, in which Insight provides, and provided a great demonstration and helped some of the teams out. This particular shot, they shot from approximately 65 yards from an elevated condition. They had to identify targets inside of what was simulated as a room, and had to find the correct target and engage it. And in that event, Naugatuck, Connecticut was first, with Syracuse second, and Cary PD, North Carolina, came in third.
I'm here with Kevin Tapia with Insight Tech Gear. He's one of our gold sponsors here at the 2008 Gastonia Sniper Conference. He's going to tell us a little bit about their illumination products that Insight produces.
Insight Tech Gear is a manufacturer of illumination products, aiming products, thermal products, surveillance products, and so on and so forth. Today's technology, you basically have an incandescent light system with some of the old technology that's out there today, whereas you have a bulb that has to be replaced. A lot of departments these days are replacing their lighting systems with LED type lighting, whereas it gives you a chip that won't burn out. It's also pretty much indestructible and lasts up to 10,000 hours. Within our lighting system, we have different functions, whereas you can get it to strobe. You can also get this light to dim down. We have this light available in 3 different models, from a 1-cell, 2-cell, to a 3-cell. Additional products that we manufacture are some LED type lights that will also strobe, and it has different colors for different missions, and they call this an RGB type lighting system. In addition to this, pistol mounted lights. Traditionally, today's lighting system, there again, is an incandescent. New technology has afforded us with LED lighting, and then a new function that Insight's come out with, we're exclusive on, is a strobe system, to whereas it will disorient the bad guy. We also manufacture aiming devices, to whereas this is an IR or a red vis laser system that's mounted on a lot of the rifles that's over in the war theater over in Iraq. This happens to be a PEC 2. In addition to that, we also manufacture an Appeal unit, which there again, it's an aiming system, whereas you have an IR or a vis laser. Typically, to use IR, you're going to use a night vision I-square type product, and there's many different models. We manufacture an NVM unit. We also manufacture a thermal unit, which is for imaging. This happens to be an MTM unit that we manufacture, and you can see an LCD screen that's projecting some thermal type heat signature. We also make this same thermal unit weapon mountable, and this happens to be mounted on a Barrett 50 caliber bolt action rifle.
Kevin, what is the primary difference between the incandescent type lighting? I mean, we've always thought of that to be pretty good lighting, but what is the big difference between this and the LED technology?
Typically, you're going to get a brighter light with an LED. They're again pretty much indestructible. You also have an LED that's going to last 10,000 plus hours. There's really been no thorough test as far as the lifetime of an LED, but but you'll get at least 10,000 hours versus on a bulb. If you drop the light, most of the time it'll break. LED it will not.
So it is a much wider light, a much brighter light, and it consumes less energy too, I guess.
It does. It will give you longer run times. All of this light system here, from 160 lumen down to a 120, down to an 80 lumen lights, will last up to 90 minutes.
Kevin, that's great information. We appreciate you coming out and sharing this with us. And I hope you have a good time here at the event and things go well for you.
Well, thank you, Captain Dunstan. We appreciate you allowing Insight Tech here to be out here and support this event. What I've got here is a mini thermal monocular. This is manufactured by Insight Technology. We're located in Londonderry, New Hampshire. This particular product is not really a typical type product that you'll see on the streets every day. This is used widely in the theater over in Iraq. We manufacture this product for the Department of Defense along with some other agencies throughout the world. This product is being introduced into the law enforcement community, of which we're here today at Gastonia Police Department. What I'm going to do is talk about some of the features of this product. It's got a zoom feature, whereas you've got a 1x to 2x. You can also take digital pictures. It will download up to 160 frames of picture, then you download it to your computer. It also has streaming video. The streaming video is what we've got hooked up tonight here at Gastonia Police Department. This particular unit will detect heat up to 400 meters. And what I've got is some people out in the woods, which is about 75 yards out. There's 3 people that are kind of standing around. You can tell them with the heat signature that glows white. This particular product can stream this video, record it, and use it for applications after you have done the crime scene investigation. You can tell where they're slightly moving downrange, and it gives you the white signature. You can also use this particular unit in different applications, to whereas if you pulled up at a crime scene, this particular unit will detect heat, and if the crime scene is recent, you can tell which way the suspects have walked off by just a foot signature on the ground.
Well, one of the other events turned out to be, yes, you're shooting from 100 yards and in most of the time, but also they tried to extend the shooting ability of these teams. They had what was called the long shot and also the egg hunt, and that one over by the lake. That was a rather interesting one, though, Charles.
It very was. That was probably one of the most difficult events of the week, and this long shot is exactly what it's called, a long shot. It's over 700 yards, over a lake, into a small target. A bullet that distance drops about 12 feet from after it comes out of the barrel. And in that event, Rock Hill PD come out first, did really good, with the U.S. Coast Guard second, and North Carolina State Highway Police were third.
Next one was the unknown target, and this, of course, is where the SWAT team is confronted with they don't know where the target is. This is one that really tests their mettle, doesn't it?
That's correct. Not only they had to identify the targets, but they are not told how the distance. They had two different targets there. The first one was about 160 yards, and the second one was about 300 yards. So they not only had to find the target and adjust to it, but they had to also determine the distance themselves. And in that event, Syracuse PD again came in first with Gwinnett County. Near Atlanta, Georgia, came in second with Naugatuck, Connecticut, third.
Well, the next event that we want to tell you about is the Target ID, and it kind of dovetails in with our last event there and the fact that you've got to pick out a target, a very instantaneous decision. Talk about that event, Charles.
In that event, the competitors run to a table that has several different targets on it, and these targets are hostage targets, have a picture of an individual. So they have to, it's a random draw. They see which target is theirs, and then they climb the tower, and then their targets, there's probably 6 or 8 targets with different pictures, and they have to shoot, engage the target that they identified from the table. So it's not only memory, target identification, but shot placement. And in that event, Wake County from North Carolina came in first with the Coast Guard second, and Naugatuck, Connecticut, third.
Good, got it.
I was on the clock high.
Yep, you got it.
We're delighted to be joined by a couple of gentlemen who have been very instrumental in the support of this particular tournament and conference, bringing all kinds of teams from all over the country to get here. And, of course, you're going to enjoy a great afternoon and great evening of great competition. On my immediate right is Mr. Jim Palaniuk, who is the city manager for Gastonia. Jim, thanks for joining us. And the chief, Terry Solt, is down at the other end. And, gentlemen, thank you very much. Jim, let me start with you with the city of Gastonia. The police department people, and I'm sure the chief will amplify this, city of Gastonia has really been a great, great partner for this event, and we salute you for that.
Well, we just really appreciate all the work that the police department has done and all of Terry's colleague agencies throughout Gaston County and the whole region to put on a competition and a conference of this quality that we really think is becoming world class. Is really something very impressive. We're very proud. In the city of Gastonia, we just love welcoming these folks from all over the region, all over the country. It's something that we'll look forward to just getting better and better year after year.
You know, Jim, one of the nice things about it is word of mouth about Gastonia, North Carolina can't hurt when they go back, right?
Absolutely not. That's correct. You bet.
And, of course, we're looking for the chief to continue this as well. And, Chief, I guess in the second year, well done so far.
Well, we've really doubled the capacity of the conference just in 1 year, and it's really turned out to be a great success so far this year. And we're looking forward to the years to come. And it's not just a partnership with the vendors and the competitors. It's really about the city manager support that we've had, but the other city departments that have really stepped up to the plate. The electric department, who's really helped us with some of the structures that we have out here. You have Keep Gastonia Beautiful, who has helped with the grass and the grounds and makes it look as nice as it is out here. It's really a combined effort and a partnership to put this thing on. And that's one of the things that makes it a special event and a great learning environment.
Chief, one of the important things is no organization is only as good as the people from inside. And certainly something like this with the Gastonia Police Department can only make your department better, from what your people are learning from other SWAT teams from around the country. And the better knowledge they have, the better off the whole city of Gastonia has to be.
Oh, you're exactly right. And having just a fantastic staff. Really, I've had little to do, if anything, to do with this. It's come from the bottom up. And Captain Duncan and his staff have just really done a dynamic job in pulling it together. And it's really easy to say yes when you have competent people and really professionals in your organization. and they learn from this, and that's the big thing.
Do you get any feedback, or will you get any feedback, you think, from some of the other chiefs around the area as far as, hey, you guys did a great job, or, hey, we really want to be there next year?
Believe it or not, we already have. Before the first round was fired on the first day, we had teams that were saying that this is the best event that they've been at, and they're willing to commit that because of what they've seen and really the outreach of Southern hospitality that we've presented to them when they walked in the door.
Jim, this is actually just a continuation of what the city of Gastonia is trying to do. As you made mention in our comments a moment ago, the roundingness of a community is all with the activities that you have, and this is just one of what else might be in the future for the city of Gastonia that we can kind of pass along to the folks watching here.
Well, we're just really concentrating on quality of life. We think this is a great community to raise your family, to live, to have good quality access to recreational opportunities, to pursue your career, to be safe and secure, and to focus in this case on some of the features of the quality of law enforcement we have here. And we're just going to build on it from here into the future.
Well, we certainly want to thank our guest here, and of course a great place, great people, and great promise when you come to Gastonia in North Carolina. Chief, thanks for being here today. Congratulations on behalf of your police department for a job well done. Thank you.
And thank you and your staff for a great environment as well.
It's been our pleasure. And to you, Jim, thank you for the city of Gastonia. You've turned out a very good red carpet for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam. We've loved playing host.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed our two guests here today, but stand by. The competition straight ahead. Some of the best of the snipers from around the entire Southeast and the country will be here to see who is going to be the best. You're going to be impressed because this will be the cream of the crop.
Hi, I'm here with Phil Jones and Greg Kirkland with Bushmaster Custom. They're the title sponsor for the day's event, the Bushmaster Custom Iron Sight event. So today we're going to be switching from the long rifles with the scopes. Here we're going to go into an urban environment with iron sights. How's that going to play into this event?
It tests the sniper's proficiency to move into that urban environment because he won't have his scope. He's got to be more proficient in those iron sights to make that shot, and that's what the Bushmaster Custom Rifle event's all about, iron sights, to be able to make that shot, test that proficiency, and get in there. And that's why we're so excited to be here as part of this event and our support for the law enforcement military community, because that's what this is all about, being proficient.
And using these assault rifles, that's going to make it operational where we can go into a moving event. This event also has a moving target coming through. How are we going to play into that?
Well, that's correct. Our moving target, we essentially have two ways to approach it. We can either lead the target, or we can set up on a fixed opening and await on the target to appear. The situation is going to probably govern for most folks which way they use that.
Well, gentlemen, we thank you for your support in this event, and it's going to be a great event for all the competitors.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
You guys would always like to be in the right position to take the shot you need, but sometime an out-of-position situation comes against your SWAT teams. Let's talk about that event as Bushmaster and, of course, the out-of-position competition.
The Bushmaster, this was an iron sight. It was kind of a 65-yard in, down to 35 yards out of position. The shooter had to sit in a chair and shoot around a barricade. He had to kneel behind a barrel. He had to shoot through a tunnel, through a tube, from a very awkward squatting position. Then he had to climb a tower and engage a moving target. And then they had to come back and simulate shooting through a window. So it was very out of position, as you would say. And in that event, DeSoto County, Mississippi, came in first with Syracuse second and Rock Hill PD third.
So again, 3 excellent teams and doing a very difficult chore in our competition. We move on now to the bus assault, and we talked about on many of our telecasts about anytime you've got children and students involved, you kind of take a little different approach to this, but a very important competition in bus assault.
That's correct. And in this event, the operators had to run to a platform, set up, and then view to an actual school bus in which Gastonia has set up numerous targets, several different targets, of which one being a suspect, one being a hostage target. So the teams had to engage the one target, of course, without hitting the others, and that was a very, very stressful event. And Naugatuck, Connecticut finished first in hit, again with Syracuse second, and Franklin PD, Tennessee finished third in the bus assault.
hearing a couple of familiar names, Naugatuck, Connecticut, along with Syracuse, New York, two of the excellent teams competing this week here in this competition. The next was the mover shot, and this one is very interesting as you move along the course itself. Talk a little about that, Charles.
The snipers had to both climb a platform, and at a distance of about started at 65 yards. They engaged a target, which started a mover target. And as this mover came across about 3 to 5 miles an hour, it passed one window, one door, and one window. And both snipers had to engage that target within one of those windows. So it was, you had to judge it and then to figure out your shooting strategy. But it was not only an accurate shot, but it was an accurate shot at a moving target. And in that event, the winner was the Coast Guard. And in second was UNC Greensboro, North Carolina. And third was Guilford County, North Carolina.
UNC Greensboro, one of the colleges that made the approach here for this competition. Hopefully there'll be others as they try to protect students on campus. One of the real exciting ones, in addition, obviously, later on with the obstacle run, was the what was called the Bound and Overwatch event. And again, the shooters doing a great job. And a matter of fact, some perfect shooting going on there. Talk about that one, if you will.
The Bound and Overwatch was a crowd pleaser because they were shooting tannerite targets, which is instant feedbacks where they explode when you'd hit them. But the shooters had to go from several different positions. They went from sitting position to they run to a kneeling position to where they had to duck crawl or high crawl to another position. And the final position from 25 yards was in a very awkward squatting position, and it made some of the shots very difficult.
Master Sergeant Robert Payne and Sergeant First Class Jerry Mullen shooting for the U.S. Army.
And this is U.S. Army Reserves. And so that's Sergeant Major and First Sergeant. One thing you'll find about these guys, they have a little bit more age on them than some of the fellow competitors, but they've been very competitive also throughout all the events. They've got a lot of experience, and that's telling here too, that their experience has paid off in their abilities that they've demonstrated out here this week.
2 for 2 in the seating position. Again, this from the kneel. And the right targets will tell you if it's a hit. And there's 2.
4 for 4. These
4
guys
for
are
4.
on.
They must have watched the Syracuse team shoot, huh?
Sometimes when you have high standards, it carries over.
Keep in mind for the team championship, winning an event, for example, a team that wins here today in this competition, which is the Bound and Watchover, gets an additional 25 points towards the team championship. So, and then of course 24, 23 and on down on where you place. So winning a championship depends on how you finish, and right now Syracuse taking I think a giant step and really solidify themselves as truly one of the favorites in this competition.
They came in today leading the competition, and they've certainly increased their odds today.
U.S. Army Reserve doing very well as they've gone 4 for 4. They again had the bear crawl as they get to shooting position number 3, 50 yards away from a standing position. Gunfire you hear coming from another range. There's 3 for 3 on one side. Pressure's on. Six for 6.
These guys have some vast military experience. Soldiers, Sergeant Major and First Sergeant, they have some experience, and it's paying off.
So again, we'll see if this U.S. Army Reserve team can duplicate what Syracuse did earlier, as their police department team logged 8 for 8. We were given the go-ahead that target that was the can went off is the fact that it was a hit. So they went 4 for 4.
And something interesting also is Sergeant Major Payne is also a local resident here. He's from nearby Bessemer City, so he's a local boy here.
Robert Payne, Jerry Mullen, and they are finishing up their low crawl and will be in a squatting position for this 7th and 8th shot downrange, and they've gone 6 for 6. They right now are one of the top teams coming into this Saturday competition, or Friday competition, excuse me. Gathering themselves after the crawl. Heart rate going down a bit. Good shooting on the right. Pressure's on again. And there it is. Oh my goodness.
Outstanding shooting.
2 back-to-back 8-for-8s, and you can see that these two guys putting on quite a show. As they come in, this is Patrick DaCosta, along with Detective Michael Edmonds. And both these gentlemen detective with the police department, and their first shots are 2 for 2.
And this is the way these guys have been performing the whole competition. They're very, very consistent throughout all the events, and you've seen that they move quite quickly to the second station.
By the way, Patrick will be talking to me. It's DaCosta is the way you pronounce it there. I think I said DaCosta, but it is DaCosta. As they go for 2 for 2, and this is their second shot, 75 yards. They are dead on.
And
I can
that
see
was
why.
almost a synchronized shot there. That
Wow.
was outstanding.
I think that's the reason I kind of asked that question, because just a split second of you hearing that other rifle fire can kind of yank you off a little bit. But as you said, they're training under the same fire and under situation. They're doing a great job.
They've got total concentration.
These are 2 excellent marksmen that are working right now for the Syracuse Police Department.
See, they made some kind of comment from one compared to the other, so they're talking as they went down.
What could he be saying, Dennis? I mean, what, are you okay? I mean, is your wind okay? Are you comfortable? Or
Looked like he made an adjustment on his scope, the gentleman on the right, and it seemed like it worked.
Certainly the gentleman on the left doing well. Let's see if it works on the right. Just a miss.
Well, he shot the can off. Can's off. He'll
It
have
is
to
off.
check
They'll
it.
have to check that again. You're right.
Check that physically, see if he hit the dot.
So again, right now, as you take a look at it, there is 5 down with a potential of being 6, with the can being knocked off but not exploding. The Tannerite targets, exploding targets for instant feedback on if you're there or not.
Moving quite quickly, very efficiently, protecting the weapons.
One of our detectives wanted to make sure he got his full face on television there, I noticed.
Yeah, didn't look like he was very stressful at that point, did he? Almost smiled at the camera.
Television there, I would imagine one of the key factors for these snipers is the awareness of what's around you.
That's true.
This is the 4th and final shot for both of the detectives from Syracuse. And either 5 or 6 are down. They'll have to check, as one of the cans was knocked off. But it depends on where it was hit to see if it was a target hit or not. There is a 4 for 4 on the left. That's the 3rd 4 for 4 we've had in this competition today. And there's a good shot. It could be 8 for 8 here. One of the next to the last events that, of course, we have an opportunity to show you, and, of course, an exciting one as well. It's called Color Dot, and you've got the 2 competitors with 10 rounds each inside a 2-minute period, and it became very, very competitive in that one.
It absolutely did, Sam. The Color Dot, it had 10 rows of 10 dots, and you had 1 target in each row in a different place. So you picked your target out of a hat, you drew the target, then you had to go to your position, and you had 2 minutes to find, and then hit all 10 of your targets. Made it very, very, very difficult shot. But Syracuse PD turned in an excellent score. They got 94 out of a possible 100 points. Gwinnett County, Georgia, got 89, and DeSoto County, Mississippi, got 82 points.
But again, once they get in this position in a real-life reality situation, it becomes a life-and-death situation, not only for themselves, but those they're trying to protect in their various police and sheriffs and military operations. There's the targets, and each of these shooters have been given the what they're shooting at. You see, of course, the bullseye, the white, and the color on the outside, and as Dennis pointed out, a bullseye is 10. If they cut the white, it's 5, and if you get the color, it's 2. Syracuse Police Department, one of the top teams, as they have really had a good run. Excellent concentration. You see various skills on as far as your loading is concerned. Dennis pointed out that, of course, they'll be loading as many shells as they can, and many of their rifles, others will go 2 or 3 at a time. And, of course, the location of the ammunition is also so varied here. Many of them have them on their stock. Some have them in either a pouch or even a box that they have down to the right side of their load. These, of course, come off their stock. Well, that one off the ground. The near side is stock. Kind of becomes automatic for them, Dennis.
They're doing very well. You can see their consistency and their fundamentals, the basic marksmanship fundamentals. They went through this in plenty of time. One thing, Sam, we need to mention is I think we made a mistake on that scoring, that it's just the inner circle is the 5 points, and then the rest of the target's going to be 2 points.
And, of course, one of the strategies there, of course, is the loading of the rifle. Either a large mag to have all 10 shots, you go 4 or 5, whichever the rifle will accommodate, or 1 shot at a time. So the use of the bolt on your rifle became very important. And then we came down to the obstacle course. Grueling, anywhere from 4.5 minutes, actually almost 4.9 minutes, and then all the way up to about 10 minutes, but you had to climb a tower. Once they reached that tower, 3 shots, that was a very, very tough competition.
This put in the physical in addition to the mental. Both operators were spent when they got to the top of the tower, and then they had to slow their breathing down, get everything back, and then take 3 shots to make a perfect score. And in that event, Naugatuck again finished first, with Gaston County, North Carolina second, UNC Greensboro third. And Naugatuck has done consistently great through here. They come first in the low light event the other day. They were first in the bus assault, and they've just placed very high in all the events.
They, of course, the furthest away that we have from Connecticut. There is a New York team from Syracuse. I guess if you looked on a latitude map, they might be equal, but Connecticut seems to be a little further away.
I'd have to have the map to make that call.
We'll call it a draw.
There you go.
Nonetheless, those two, a couple of teams from Tennessee, 2 from Mississippi, a couple from South Carolina. As we mentioned, Connecticut and Georgia. And the rest are from North Carolina, 17 from North Carolina, 25 total. And through the monkey bars very quickly, Mr. Walsh leading the way. And through the low crawl they go. 2 teams to go after these guys. They know they've got a mathematical shot of making it to the #1 spot, with, of course, winning the championship and getting some good points in this competition. So they are very much going and letting it all hang out, so to speak.
And they're very, very close with the Coast Guard team from 3rd to 2nd there. So there's only 3 points between them. So they know they've got to, they want that 2nd place so much more than 3rd. So they got to give it all they got right here.
And off of the climb it goes. They apparently have a buddy system to get over the wall as one waits for the other. Mr. Walsh turns the corner. He's getting himself in position. And apparently not, unless he sits on top of the wall. Nope, they are going over together. That's interesting. The competitor waited because obviously he could actually get some breathing room down here at the tower.
I think he got his breathing room there. I think he was waiting to make sure his partner didn't have an issue. He was there for him if he needed it to be.
Good point. Because if one misses, that they both have to repeat that particular obstacle. And they are over the final jump. Walsh a little bit loose there.
Hang in there.
And this is the fatigue factor setting in right now.
Absolutely. And the hard part still to come.
Walsh, of course, the shorter of the two, will be up through the hole first, followed by Ian Koski, who you see there. Good shot of him.
Step up.
Someone asked how easily I picked up Mr. Walsh, and I said he very nicely wears his baseball cap backwards with his name on the back of it. So that was a very easy pickup, and then I had a chance to talk to him and visit with him after the competition yesterday. As Ian's up,
there you go.
Belt pull will help him get through. They're up 1, they've got 2 to go. Time-wise, Captain, how they doing?
They're still good. They're still good. They're just coming up on 3 minutes right now.
The time is good if they can traverse these last 2 attic holes, get up, get themselves righted, breathe well, and pull off 3 good shots. It's ironic that the entire week of competition may come down to just 3 shots.
Absolutely.
But it does come down to a whale of a finish with the obstacle course.
In 3 shots, but less than 3 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, all these shots. Very, very, very close, very crucial.
Last hole. Walsh again walking all over his teammate to get up on that one.
he got him up.
And now Ian will be the last up. The weapons are cleared and up. Will be loaded after they arrive at the top. And here comes Ian. And there goes the belt pull, and he's up. So there on top, you heard a little in the background, somebody saying good job, and rightly so, as this Naugatuck team, once again, of Ray and Ian, are on top, getting their rifles ready for their 3 very important shots. You see Walsh on the near sideline really puffing. This has really taken it out of him.
That may be a technique of some deep breathing so that he can get on a rifle.
And we'll see how well it worked. And now they were able to put the weapon, or get the ammunition in. Both on the bipods right now, and again, as the captains pointed out, how high they have to hold the end of that stock up. Again, a little bit uncomfortable because you got to arch up a little bit more than you normally would in their prone position.
First shot's a very good shot, right above the bullseye.
Ready to pull off the second round here, and then the bonus shot will be taken.
Even closer shot. That may have cut the bullseye. We'll have to look at that when it gets there. Very good shooting, but don't believe they hit the bonus shot.
Nope, they pulled that off pretty quickly. Actually, unless that target was put in that way, it did maybe knock it askew, but it did not hit the target. Let's talk about the obstacle course. Ray Walsh along with Ian Koski, and winning the obstacle course. A tough day for you, though, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and also a surprise. We didn't know we took the top in that until just now when you told us, so that's a surprise for us.
Tower, of course, was the end of the obstacle course. Ian, talk about trying to get you guys up there for the shots.
It takes a lot of energy in it. You really feel your age as you get up there, but we pulled together. It's good teamwork.
Ray, getting yourself under control once you get to the top of the tower, breathing control, being able to sight, and talk about that situation.
I think that's all I could do is concentrate on my breathing because I couldn't feel any other part of my body, so it was all about just taking the shot once we got up to the top.
And you pull them off, you look at those last, you get the results. You guys had to be delighted with the number.
It's a huge relief. We were stressed out the last 5 days, and I just thank the Gastonia police and everyone else that helped out with us, and especially Naugatuck police for letting us come up here and try it out.
Well, Ray and Ian, once again, I guess coming from Connecticut. Hope to see you back next year, maybe?
Yes, thank you very much. Hope to be here.
Very good. We'll talk to the chief, by the way. Thank you, guys. Well, after all of that was said and done, the smoke settled, and out of those 11 events, we came down to the team championship, and it was Syracuse.
That's
a very consistent team, and they just out-distanced Naugatuck, the number 2 team, so New York and Connecticut voted themselves well.
They very well did, Sam. They represented them in their states very, very good.
And the team totals and the point totals, that we have those?
Syracuse PD finished with 252 points. Naugatuck was second with 224, and a very close third was U.S. Coast Guard at 220.
And here we are with the overall standings, the overall winners, Syracuse, New York. They came out first. They came into the last event first in the obstacle course, and they finished first for the overall. Gentlemen, how does that feel to be the best out of the 25 very best sniper teams in this competition this week?
It feels excellent. I mean, the number of teams here that were just nipping at your heels the whole way, it's a really good feeling to be ranked up there with these guys.
And how's that from your perspective? Was it a team part, or was you do it all mostly? Was it you, or was it your partner here?
No, it's always a team thing. This snipers always operate as a team, so this is a team effort. And you know, this whole competition was real close. All the competitors were real close, so it made it real interesting.
Well, guys, y'all both did a great job all week. You were very consistent in the first, second, top 5 all week, and you'll be very proud to come down here and represent your department, your state like you did.
Oh, proud doesn't say it. We got a ton of people we would thank, but you know, Sniper Commander John Savage, top notch for getting us in shape. You know, 10 years worth of training with that man, getting us where we are today. And special thanks to Bruce Strack, ADS, for getting us down here as well.
Well, there you have it from the winners of the Gastonia Sniper Conference this week. And here we go back to Sam Smith for a wrap-up.
Well, our thanks once again to Captain Charles Cavanis, who's the SWAT commander down with the Rock Hill Police Department. And earlier in our telecast, a gentleman who is no stranger here in the Gastonia area, a 12-year veteran of the SWAT commander with the Gastonia Police Department, Mr. Dennis Crosby, for helping us on the telecast. Our thanks to you for joining us, but more importantly, we thank the 25 teams put on 4 days of excellent competition. And the Sniper Conference is now coming to a close with the idea that number 3 may be even better. 25 teams this year. They'll stretch it as far as they can go next next year, and all these 25 will get the word out that it's an exciting time in Gastonia. We hope you've enjoyed it. So until next time, Sam Smith, thank you, and so long, everybody. Once again from the Gastonia Sniper Conference, as we'll see you next year with more exciting action. So long, everybody.
Yeah.